I'm Mazella here again for Small Business Digest, and we have a real winner on today. We have someone who's been successful in the past at a very young age, and some of you might even remember her product, but I'll let her tell you all about it. We welcome Linda Trivide to the program. How
Hi,
are you?
John. Thanks. I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Okay. Well, tell us about your personal background, and I know it's an extraordinary story. So tell us about it, and then tell us what you're doing now, and finally, a website where people can become beta testers.
Sure, sure. Well, as a lot of you know, there's a movie that just came out and kind of depicts a huge part of my life when I worked at Ty, the company that makes Beanie Babies. And the movie reflected a lot of the things that I had done at Ty, which included uh, building poems and birthdays into the tags, which many people found endearing when you open up the tags and there were little poems. I actually have one right here.
Mm,
And you open up the tag and there's a little poem in there. And those poems were my idea to put them in, and I wrote about 137 of them from the very beginning, early days of the Thai products, and had a lot of fun doing it. I have to say, it was a blast working there. And another thing that I had also done, which was also reflected in the movie, was building the website. The website was the first business website ever to be on the internet. So it was really exciting just trying to build something when there were no tools available to build what we were trying to build. We just had a vision, and we tried to figure out how to make it work by using what was available. And that whole journey was completely insane. The movie touched a little bit on it, but
what's the name
um,
of the movie? People will want to know. What's
Beanie
it?
Bubble. The Beanie Bubble. That's the movie. It's on Apple TV Plus right now. And the process of putting the website together was an extraordinary one because the tools to build websites that are available today were not available back at that time. And we made so many things work, even though there were not tools readily available to do those things. And there were so many issues along the way that the site was getting a lot of traffic from a lot of collectors, and it kept building and building and building. And it was pretty insane. And it was the single point of where the people were able to connect with the company. And we received letters and emails and messages, and by thousands and thousands of people every day, and more than we were able to keep up with, and more that the equipment that was available at the time even had the capacity to process. So it was a journey, to say the least.
Mm.
That ended up leading to a lot of other things that I did later on in life. Today, I am really excited about what I'm working on right now. Everybody is talking about AI. I've actually been working in AI since 2014. And, a lot of people think that it just came out just recently, but my role in it has been for a long time. I built what is ChatGPT today. About 10 years ago, I had an infantile version of that content tool that would ask a series of questions, and through those prompts, it would deliver 10,000 words of original content. And this was in 2014. So it was a little bit ahead of the times back then, too. Then today,
What? I'm going to interrupt you. Are
yeah.
you a writer? Are you a someone or a techie? What are you? You did all of those things, and you did a techie. What are you? I'm just
Yeah,
curious.
yeah, it's a funny question that you ask, because I feel that, they have that saying, a jack of all trades, master of none.
Yes.
But the work that I did at Thai, it resulted in me being a master of a lot of trades. I can't say
Hmm.
master of all trades, but I'm a master of a lot of trades.
Hmm.
And leaving that job as I did, I was 25-ish. Uh, no, I was 27. By the time I was 27, having all this experience that I had from Thai, being able to take me through all kinds of different journeys in life. It was just the most incredible life that I could have ever asked to live.
Hmm.
Today, the Surgeon General of the United States recently issued a statement asking, it was a public health advisory asking Americans, giving Americans a call to action to address this issue of social isolation and loneliness, which is a problem that technology created. And I see how technology created that issue because my daughter, my child, she has had so many different challenges that she has been trying to overcome. She was born with a severe disability. And to me, just watching her go through the struggles that she goes through and the isolation that she experiences just from being a kid with a disability already, and then seeing the role that technology plays in her life, I completely see everything that the Surgeon General is saying in his report. So I am taking everything that I've learned, not just from Ty, but everything else that I've done in life, and putting it into joy.ai. It's JOII.ai. And I'm really excited about it because it's something that I'm really passionate about, and it's something that I really believe in. I see all the statistics from what the Surgeon General has issued in terms of how social isolation affects the elderly, how it affects people with different types of health conditions, how it magnifies those health conditions, and especially how it affects the Gen Z population, which is the younger generation. My daughter, she's 13. She falls within the Gen Z population, and I see how it's affecting her. So I'm really excited about
Well,
taking a.
I'm gonna interrupt you because
Yeah.
you're using terms that I don't know, and I
Oh
think
no.
okay. So I'm gonna ask you to go back. When you
Yeah,
say
please.
socialization, what do you mean by that? And and in the context of the Surgeon General's report?
Yeah, social isolation, what I mean by that is a lot of us are on Facebook, a lot of us are on Instagram. We have thousands of followers, thousands of friends on these social media networks, but we really don't know who a lot of them are. And the people that are closest to us, if we make a list of the top 10 people in your life and ask ourselves, are we connecting with those people as regularly as we would like to? For me, one of my closest, one of the closest people in my life would be my brother. I talk to my brother maybe once a month. It's horrible. I want to talk to him more, but I don't. And why don't I? I'm busy, he's busy, we all have busy lives, and we're just not able to socially connect. When you take that one social connection, which is my brother, and then add my cousin, add my best friends, add my parent, my mom, um, all of that put together, I'm not really connecting with the people that are important to me. And why am I not connecting with the people that are important to me? It's because I'm busy. And I'm just not able to figure out how to carve out time to prioritize connecting with the people that are important to me. And what the Surgeon General is saying is that is an issue, and it's going to create a mental health crisis in our country if we don't address it. Does that
You won't get an argument from me because people used to sit on the front porch and socialize with their neighbors. We don't do it anymore. Uh,
right?
um, that's just a small example of what you're saying. So, having identified a problem, what's your solution?
My solution, it's a really cool AI solution. There's a lot of people that are trying to solve this issue using AI, and they are completely missing the mark by creating AI companions, AI therapists. There's all kinds of different solutions out there. What we're doing is we're creating a technology that would allow you to create a digital version of yourself. So essentially, it's a type of clone that you create that learns your behaviors, the things that you like, the way that you speak, just different characteristics about you. And then the person that you want to connect with, say it's my brother, he would create a version of himself it's simultaneously. And then once we get our digital versions of ourselves created, then they will interact and they'll banter and they'll communicate, and there will be this humorous conversation that's taking place that I could go back and read whenever I want to or look at whenever I want to. And the purpose of these two digimes, we call it a digime, the digital version of ourselves, the two digimes that are talking to each other, the purpose of that is for them to identify opportunities for us to connect. So let me just give you an example. Say my nephew is singing in an elementary school concert. I have no idea because my brother and I barely talk, but I'm constantly, checking in with my digime, who's constantly prodding me with different questions and learning my habits just by being on my phone with me. And through that, my digime will tell me, hey, did you know that my nephew is singing in a concert? And I might be at my mom's house and my mom would be like, right down the street from the elementary school. So I would say, hey, I'm going to go check out the concert. And then we all have this family experience together that we would not have otherwise had. And it just happens by chance because I happen to be at the right place at the right time in order to connect with somebody that I care about. It's about doing life together. It's about doing things together. Another example could be how a friend of mine is going to Costco and I need to go shopping as well. So then my digime might tell me that my friend's at Costco at 3 o'clock, after 3 o'clock today. So I might rearrange my schedule and go to Costco at the same time so that I could run into my friend. And then we might go to, wherever for lunch after that. And we're having a social connection that would have otherwise been unplanned. And that's essentially how it works.
Hmm. Well, my initial reaction is it scares me to death. Okay,
Yeah.
because in
You
effect,
know, um, we've done a lot of market research on the product and the space, and you are not our target market because of that, because you're afraid of the technology. There are people out there that are not scared of technology. There are people out there that embrace technology, the early adopters, so to speak. And those are the ones that I invite to become beta testers of this exciting new technology. And I think once you see the people that are close to you using it and applying it and actually seeing the effects of it, and one of them maybe invites you to use it too, then at that point, I think you might be more comfortable with it. But I do understand there are people out there that are scared of the technology and that are just scared of AI in general. But as me, of course, I love new things and I love playing with it and seeing what it could do. And I especially love taking technology that's out there and applying it towards solution to real problems.
mm, okay. Well, I have to tell you, I still only use my iPhone as a telephone, so you're right about that. But in order to create, and I want a pseudo clone is how I view. What do you call it?
A digime?
Okay. I would have to impart into it some things that maybe I wouldn't want to say. Uh, to give you an example, I don't really want to go to my cousin's for holiday dinner. But do I impart that into my uh, clone? I don't want to use the word clone into my digital person.
Yeah, your digi me, so it's digi me.
Me, digi me.
Yeah.
See, there are things that my wife doesn't like. The only thing I ever found wrong with my wife is she doesn't eat pasta. I mean, do you put the things like that into your Digime, or
The
is it
digime is going to just be there and it's going to work through an SMS platform and it's just going to text you and get to know you in your life. It's going to ask you, hey, how's it going today, Don? And then you might say, it's a little bit of a rough morning, but I'm just starting out my day now. And then it's just going to ask you different questions, and you might also find different things that you want to talk to your digime about. And over time, the digime is going to get to know you. And once the digime knows that your wife doesn't eat pasta, It's just gonna know that your wife doesn't eat pasta. It's just going to be something that it understands. And it's going to apply that to different things. If you don't want to go to your cousins for Thanksgiving this year, it's going to remember that. And next year, it's going to ask you, you're probably not going to your cousins, right? What are you doing for the holidays? And then
We're,
you say
we're
you don't know what you're doing. And
right.
your Digime is connected to 3 people that you're close to, that you've authorized your Digime to connect with. And this could be, maybe your friend, your neighbor, maybe one of your relatives. So those are the 3 people that you've told Digime that you want to connect with these people. So then it might say your neighbor is not doing anything either. So maybe I can see if there's a way that you guys could get together. And just from seeing that, maybe one of you will call one another. And if it doesn't, the Digimes will also interact with one another based on the things that you tell it. Because
Okay.
you might tell your Digime, I don't even want to do anything for the holidays. I think I'm just going to stay home. So
Right.
then now the Digime knows that you don't want to do anything for the holidays, and it's going to let the other Digime know that, Don doesn't want to really do anything for the holidays.
Except,
But then your friend is going to see that. So then your friend might call you and be like, I saw that your Digime, I saw your Digime say that you don't want to do anything over the holidays. Why not? And maybe a conversation may lure you out of your shell to
mm,
go out and connect with your neighbor or whoever it is.
before we go further, people can learn more about it. Give them the website.
Yes, thank you. It's joy.ai, JOII.ai.
Well, that's a nice, simple one.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, I
Even
like
I
it.
can remember that one.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, now let me play devil's advocate for a moment and ask the question that keeps coming up. Now, all this information is stored someplace. How do you protect it from someone else learning that I don't like purple cars or something like that?
Right, right, right. Privacy and security is a huge, huge priority for us. So we actually are working with different people that to put together a board in order to produce. We're in the very early stages of development right now, so we don't even the application is not even being utilized right now. But we are bringing that forward as a concern, and we're looking actually to be one of the leaders of privacy and security in order to be able to apply some basic principles of being able to apply that way of protecting that information. When I was at Thai, I remember when there were no rules and we had a online e-commerce forum that people would put posts of Beanie Babies they wanted to trade, or that they wanted to things they wanted to do with them, or I'm looking for this, or I'm looking for that, or I want to buy this particular Beanie Baby. And what was happening is that children were putting their phone numbers on this
Oh,
forum. They were putting their address on this forum. They were putting their last names, very personal information. And that's what prompted me to start putting together rules that and this was when there were no rules. So I was the first person to even come up with the concept that there needs to be some regulation here. So I've been doing this since I was a teenager, trying to identify the problem areas where people need to be protected. Right now, there is no regulation that protects people from that. The only pieces of information that there's regulation for is your social security number, your financial information, and some other pieces of key information that are protected through different rules that are in place. And one of my goals is, especially in this age of AI, to establish rules the same way I did back then when I was at Thai. And we ended up creating rules that were later adopted by the Children's Advertising Review Unit, which is run by the Better Business Bureau, which is a voluntary set of guidelines that businesses who market to children are to follow. And that's sort of what I'm looking to do now here in the AI age, creating a similar set of rules that businesses should voluntarily follow until there is federal regulation that protects people.
hmm. But if uh, I'm giving into your hands, into the AI hands, some very personal information. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, you know, to me or to most people who think about it, that's a scary proposition. I don't want to stay too long on it. It's just it's almost the next step towards creating a clone, an uh, 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 an online clone. If we could transfer our brains to it, we'd have our second life.
This is where technology is at, Don. I mean, what I'm creating though is something where people control what is happening with the information. The information doesn't get shared with anyone without you saying, I am willing for my brother to know this. I'm willing for my sister to know this. I'm willing to, and these might be things that your brother and sister already know. Maybe your brother and sister already know that your wife doesn't eat pasta, or that you don't like your cousin or whatever, whoever, not that, or whoever it was that you don't want to go to a holiday dinner for. You know, these are maybe different dynamics that people that are close to you already know, and you might be okay with sharing it. But there might be, you know, nuances to that. There might be things that your brother knows about you, but your sister doesn't. And you can specify all of those things. The Digime is not going to share anything without checking with you first to make sure, is this okay for me to share with your brother, or is this okay, you know, just, hey, this is coming up in conversation and I just want to check in with you, you know. And it's a real easy type of communication, because it's just a quick text that you'll get, and you just say, yeah, that's fine, or no, no, don't talk to my brother about that. And then now it's recorded that you don't want to talk to your brother about that, and now the Digime knows that's your boundary. So it is a way of establishing boundaries through AI, but you have complete control over that.
Mm. Your website again for our audience that wants to join
Yeah,
in?
joy.ai, JOII
AI.
dot AI.
Okay. You know, I was just noting this afternoon, this morning, how much everybody now says something is AI um, powered. But I'm wondering, do you really need all of AI to power such a system as this?
You know, you do in a way, because what AI is it's predictive. It's rooted in the predictability of content and of knowing, you know, the being has to be able to understand emotion, has to be able to understand feelings, and it has to be able to predict actions that potentially could be taken based on those variables. So it does require AI. You couldn't recreate characteristics without AI. It
But
would be very static.
what if I decided that I don't like my cousin? You know, in families, sometimes you have fights with family that maybe last 10 years before you.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, um, how do you know? How does the system know that a feeling has changed?
Yeah, because it'll check in with you and it'll say, you know, so how's it going? And you might tell your Digime, oh, I got into it with my cousin. I'm not talking to him anymore. And
Hmm.
then the Digime will just engage in a dialogue with you about it. If your cousin is one of the people that you were connected with, then your cousin's Digime is gonna know from that side of the story.
Hmm.
So then the two Digimes are gonna know that you guys aren't talking to each other, and they might ask you, your Digime might ask you if it's okay if it relays A, B, and C to your cousin's Digime. And you might say, yeah, that's fine, but that's not going to go anywhere. Or, you know, you might say, no, I don't want you to talk to him at all.
Hmm.
You know, there will be an element of the Digimes trying to reconcile if you want them to, or you can choose not to.
Well, this is way out, but um, does it also recognize? Can it also recognize when someone starts, for instance, exhibit Alzheimer symptoms? Is it possible to recognize that?
Yeah, that's a great question. We actually are putting together a mental health advisory board because we really want this tool to make an impact on mental health challenges. So I don't have the answer to that right now. However, I can tell you that we are seeking some of the top minds in psychology and mental health to help guide this technology so that we can really make an impact on people and in our communities. And my hope is that I would be able to one day say yes, we can potentially identify challenges and say you have a digime and you also have a digime that's connected to your children potentially can get an alert from digime saying that, you know, you might want to watch him a little bit and see if you can recognize, you know, some of the signs of whatever it is.
Mm.
That's something that could potentially happen. Right now, we're at the ground level. This is a startup that we started literally 70. Oh, wait a minute. It's my 90-day anniversary with
Oh,
my co-founder.
okay.
Happy anniversary to my co-founder. My co-founder is Nitin Luthra. He has an amazing pedigree of corporate experience, so I'm really excited to be partners with him on this. And
Where are you located?
so I am in a very small town in Wisconsin that you've probably never heard of. It's called Beaver Dam, Wisconsin.
Mhm.
And my co-founder is not too far from San Francisco, right in the heart of Silicon Valley.
Mhm. Well, how did you end up in Beaver Dam? Beaver.
Yeah, that is a really long story, but it really stems from my child. My child, I told you she was born with a severe disability and has a very complex medical condition. And she has 30 doctors that span multiple children's hospitals. And the root of her care, her medical care, is in Milwaukee and Madison. So I live right in between Milwaukee and Madison in a
Oh,
small town. The town that I live in, I really like it because it is a small town. It's very quiet, and the school system here is very responsive to her needs. So that's essentially why I've stayed here, because I think it's a really good place for her where everything is slow. And when you have mobility challenges, it's difficult to go to fast paced environments, even though I love the city. We go to the city once in a while. She has to brace herself for the city though, because there's a lot of different challenges that she has to figure out how to navigate when we're in busy, fast-paced environments.
mm,
So small towns work really good for her.
mm.
So that's why I'm here.
Okay. One last time, your website.
My website is joy.ai, JOII .ai.
And you're
And
and
what was that?
you're looking for volunteers to try out your program.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, if you're interested to check out the website, and if you like what you see, then sign up to be a beta tester. And when we have the technology available, then we'll reach out to people to see if they're interested in trying it out.
Well, on that note, we have to say, Alina Trivide, thank you so much for a very interesting time together. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, John.